Hello, so my name is Alayla Carroll, and I want to give you some background on me so you'll get an opportunity to get to know me. You're here for a special reason, and your reason is that you want to break free from narcissistic entanglements. You want to get out of a relationship where you're being controlled and you feel like you're hopeless and you don't have nothing to do. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know if your future is going to be bright or what it is that you're going to do. Well, the reason why I chose this class is for me to help you. Now, what made me qualified to do this class? Well, first off, I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I was married to a narcissist. He was extremely narcissistic. I didn't know what it was when I was married to him. I just knew that something wasn't right. I didn't know how I got myself in such an entanglement in that way because I had pride myself on never getting with a controlling man. That was my thing. I was like, I would never in my life be with someone who tried to tell me what to do, dictate my every move. But what I really failed to realize was that I have been in those type of relationships before I got with him. It just wasn't at that extreme, if you know what I mean. It wasn't that extreme. It was more so of a little bit of controlling here, such as like, okay, if I go somewhere, you can't wear that. Or, hey, who is that you're talking to on the phone? It was in that kind of realm, somewhere in that range with the ex-boyfriends and stuff, and even, other people that I was associating myself with. But I didn't realize that I was actually creating a pattern to put myself in a situation where I was going to be controlled, if you know what I mean. So, I wrote a book called Breaking the Spell, The Ultimate Escape Plan from Narcissistic Entanglement. So, when I wrote the book, I was really skeptical about writing it due to the fact that I was afraid that putting my business out there was going to hurt me. But as the years passed and I started healing and I was gaining my strength, I started realizing that I'm not the only one that's in the situation. There are others like me who need to know how to get out of that type of situation and survive and thrive. Not only survive, but to thrive. Now, a little more background about me. So what is it that I do? I am a certified life coach. I have taken certification classes to become certified so I can really help you to get out of your situation. Now, what other things do I do? I'm also a flight attendant. I fly around the world. I enjoy life. I love to live. I love to travel. That was one of the things that I did not get to do much of when I was married to that narcissist. Yeah, to that narcissist. I wasn't able to go places that I wanted to go without him. He was always traveling with me. And whenever I did travel without him, it was either because I was working or because I had my mother with me. And even then, he would have issues about me taking my mom places without him because he wasn't able to get a passport, first of all. He had a lot of situations going on in his past life with child support, not paying his child support. And if you don't pay child support, you're not going to be able to get a passport, right? If you don't know that, I know you should know that. But the point is that I was making about that. I'm not going to tell so much of his business because I am completely over that situation. So there's no need to harp in that situation. But if you read my book, this is the book right here that I'm talking about. This is the book, and you can pick this copy up on Amazon if you want the actual physical copy. Now, by you taking this class, you will get a free PDF copy of this book because you're going to need this book to take the class. You're not going to be able to actually pass. I ain't going to say pass because this is not a pass or fail. This is more of a growth, a continuous growing of you being able to achieve the type of life that you want to have and break free from narcissistic entanglements, being entangled into that. Because believe it or not, being in a narcissistic relationship is like being under a spell to where you are being controlled and you don't even realize how deeply under hypnotic hypnosis that you're under dealing with the narcissist, because you give so much of yourself. I mean, like, you really give so much of yourself to where you practically give all of yourself to that narcissist. Now, I'm not only teaching this class for women, I'm also teaching this class for men too, because there are some men who are dealing with narcissistic women. But I can relate more on the woman side because I am a woman. But don't shy away. If you are a man and you're in a relationship with a woman who's a narcissist and she's controlling you, this class will help you too. So don't shy away. Now, you might hear me speak a lot about men and what they're doing, but it has absolutely nothing to do with only just men. This is anyone who is going through a narcissistic relationship. Now, this class is based on breaking free from narcissistic relationships. If you are in a romantic relationship with someone who is a narcissist, this is what this class is for. But if you have a narcissist coworker or a narcissist parent, the book itself teaches you about that part. So you would need the book to learn about how to break free from that, because I talk about those scenarios as well as those experiences that I have had myself dealing with some of those, and this will help you if you get the book. Now, also, you have to understand that when you're taking this class, it is for you to better yourself. This class is not for you to go out and ramble to other people and say, guess what? You know what? I learned from Alayla's class, and then you going back to the narcissist telling that person about what you're learning, and you find yourself in a more deeper hole than you started. So I will go over instructions. I will tell you what to do, when you should do it, how you should do it, the way you should do it, and who you should talk to. And you will be able to go step by step by step. This is a 13-week course. Now, there are going to be areas in your life where this course is going to run over 13 weeks. That's the reason why I made this course to go at your own pace. You don't have to worry about not finishing it up in 13 weeks. It's not about that. This is not that kind of class. This class is to save your life. So it takes time. Yes, I build it in a 13-week segment, but it's for you to go at your own pace in your own private time. So basically, don't do this class in front of people, especially in front of the narcissist. Don't do that. That person cannot know that you're taking this class. They just cannot know it, because they are already going to have it in their mind is that, oh, you're trying to leave me. Let me stop that from happening. So we don't want that going on. So you definitely have to take this class in private. You definitely have to take this class at your own pace, because it's going to be assignments that you're going to have to do, some activities, some exercises that you're going to have to do. And when you do this exercise, that's going to take some time, because you've never done some of these things before. These are some things that you're going to have to put into practice, and you've never done them before, so you're not going to know what to do until you get to it in the class. But once you get to it in the class, I will explain everything to you. You don't have to worry about figuring out how to do something. I will explain it in full detail, and you will be able to achieve your desired breakthrough that you want to have. And not only that you are going to become better getting out of that relationship, you're going to become stronger with never getting in another narcissistic relationship ever again. Okay? Now, more background on me. So, after I broke off the marriage and I divorced the narcissist, I talk about how that happened in the book, so I won't be going through all that in the class. You will really have to read the book to get that information. But I talk about how I broke it off, and one of the things for certain was that I had to be strong. I had to have my strength in knowing who I am and what I deserve. and what I did not deserve. And I definitely believed it because I know myself. I knew myself well enough to know that I should not have been going through that. First off, I should have never put myself through that in the first place. But I had to go into a deeper meaning in back in my mind and my desires to figure out what was it that caused me to get in that relationship in the first place. What was going on with me to make me go through that? Because I knew better. And not only that I knew better, I was one of the ones who would be very advocate about that when I saw other people in those type of relationships. But yet I was in one. And I found myself going through it all because of what I was dealing with on the inside of me. So this class is going to help you deal with those situations that you keep burying inside of you. In order for you to have a breakthrough, you have to confront what is going on in you. You have to confront it because that's the only way you're going to break out of this situation. The only way a narcissist can have a hold on anybody, the person that they are controlling have to have some type of low self-esteem about themselves, have to be desperate about something, that's something that they want so badly that the narcissist know about and feel like, oh, I can provide that for her or for him, but I'm going to use the heck out of them. So the thing is that you have to figure out what is it that's going on with you. And I did that. I did the work. Once I came into reality of my own situation, my own thoughts, my own troubles, the things that was bothering me, and why I was allowing myself to go through those type of abusive situation verbally. I went through a verbal abuse. His mouth was like a double-edged sword. It didn't matter what way it was going. It was always cutting me down, trying to make me feel like I'm not pretty, or not even just that. The crazy thing about it was that I knew I was pretty. I'm like, I'm not ugly. That's one thing for certain. I know I'm not ugly from inside and out. I know this about myself. But yet, I was feeling like unpretty over time of listening to that in my ear. And then finance. Finance was the biggest problem that we had. He did not want to work. Whenever you're in a relationship with someone who don't want to work, it's not that they can't get a job. They don't want a job. That is the biggest problem right there that you should not put yourself through. If you're paying all the bills, and that person ain't not contributing at all to the house, yeah, he might go and buy some food here and there, but that ain't contributing. I mean, them lights got to be paid, baby, okay? Mortgage or rent got to get paid, okay? You want to live in this place, right? If you're in the dark, I'm in the dark. We're both in the dark together. So those were things that you have to put in your mind, like, wait a minute, if I'm paying all of this by myself, then guess what? I don't need this person because I'm able to do it. I'm already proving that. Then what else? Oh, sexual abuse. I can go on and on about that, but I'm not. Yes, I went through it. It's in the book. You read the book, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So I won't go into details about that. Also, what else? Emotional abuse, I went through that because I was fighting with myself when it came to the emotions of what it is that I wanted. Because I'm going to tell you what it was about me. I wanted to be married so badly. And I wanted to have kids. Those were the two things I wanted. And I was getting older. How old am I now? I am 46 years old, okay? So I was 39 when we got married. And I was 37 when we got together. And from 39 to 40, I went through it. And then from 40 to 41, I was already starting to break this situation because I knew what was going on with me. I had to deal with it. So by the time I got to that place where I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I got to walk away. But I was dealing with other issues that had so much, that was so much bigger than me. And what I'm talking about, you better read that in the book too. So I'm not going to tell you that. You have to read it in the book. So I was going through something so dramatically that it was changing my physical appearance as well as my physical health. And I have never had any health issues in my entire life, but I was going through it, from migraines to anxiety. I ain't never had anxiety. I didn't even know that was real, to be honest with you. I was like, anxiety? People who say they got anxiety, something's wrong with that. Oh, I suffered from that. And I suffered from that because I was trying so hard to keep the peace and stop fighting so much, that I went through so much dealing with that. What I want you to know is that I am here to help you get this situation under control. Now, what was my breakthrough? I want to tell you that before I end this video. What my breakthrough was when the physical abuse started. When he put his hands on me, I said, you know what? I can't do this no more. You done everything unthinkable. And this was the last straw. And now that you have done this, we will not continue on this path. I am done. And when I said I was done, I meant that. I meant it. Because I didn't want, when I saw my face in that mirror and I saw my lip busted, I realized at that time, in that moment, and he was still trying to come at me because I was locked myself in the bathroom and he was still trying to come at me. And I said, this mug is crazy. Not only that he's crazy, he really don't know how crazy I am. This was when I knew I had to let it go, because I know how I can get. I have not taken it there with him. So he had never experienced that side of me. My first husband did. So I've been married 3 times, okay? Let me just tell you that. So my first husband and I, we used to fight like cats and dogs. I used to go toe to toe with him. Oh yes, I was not afraid. But I didn't want to have that same life. I didn't want to do that. So that's why I didn't do this with this second marriage. I realized that it was time for me to change. And it had been 10 years from my first husband to this second one. So I had a whole lot of growth in that time. But the problem is that when he put his hands on me, that was when I realized at that moment, baby, I'm telling you, if I don't get rid of this man out of my house, I'm going to end up in jail, because I'm going to kill him. There was no way I was going to let that man beat me down. See, that's the kind of spirit that I had. You know, everyone don't have that kind of fighting spirit, and I understand that. So what I'm going to teach you in this course is not to fight with your fists, okay? I'm going to teach you to fight with your mind. I'm going to teach you to fight in the spiritual. I'm going to teach you how to really do this. And I mean, do this without you going to jail for hurting him or killing him, and to help you to really get to a place where you would never, ever have to go through this ever again. And not only that, I'm going to teach you how to get a relationship that is going to be beautiful for you, that is going to be healthy, and you would never have to worry about picking the wrong person again. Now, remember I said I've been married for 3 times, right? My first marriage, I was very young, early 20s. Yes, 23 years old when I got with my first husband. Yes, baby. Yes, I was a baby. And he was too. We were both the same age or whatever. So we knew nothing about life. It's just what it was. My second husband, 10 years later, after the divorce, 10 years after the divorce, okay, so I started growing up and started realizing that I didn't want to continue with dating. I hated dating. I didn't like what was out there. I felt like, dang, nobody's honest. No one's genuine. Everyone is just want to just have sex, pretty much. And not only that, if they do be in your life, they want something from you as far as for you to take care of them or whatever the case may be. It was always something, you know. And I was just tired of it. And I was getting older and I haven't had any kids yet. And I was like, man, what is going on with me? I can't just have a baby with just no anybody. I don't want that. And so then I started finding out more things about myself that health wise, I'm like, oh, okay, so guess what? You know, now I gotta figure out a better way. Do I get married? You know, do I wait? Do I just have a kid on my own and do the UV throw? What is it that I should do? It was a lot of that going on. And the narcissists have a way of charming you in the beginning. I mean, like really charming you, giving you all this attention, all this stuff, you know. And I'm telling you, that man wooed me to a point where I just let all my defenses down. I mean, I let them all down. Guard and everything, I let it down. And then we ended up getting married, and then all hell started breaking loose. I'm not going to go into that because it's in the book too, so you definitely got to read that. But the thing is that after the divorce with him, I married my best friend. The person I should have been married to from the very beginning before I met my second husband. Because I had met him years before I met my second husband, but we never ever crossed the line with each other, ever. And one of the reasons, because he was already married, and I didn't mess with married men. That's something I just chose not to do. And he never came at me that way, ever. But we was always cool with each other and stuff. But over time, after the situation with the narcissist, and he knew about the situation, knew what was going on, all that stuff, and it just became to where I started trusting and leaning on my current husband now, to a point where I felt safe with him. And of course, he had already divorced his ex-wife and stuff at this time, and we became real close, got really close with each other. And it was to a point where I was like, dang, I'm afraid. I was afraid to try this again, because I was really done with a relationship, because I was like, if this is how it is, I don't want to do this no more. But he told me out of his own mouth, he said, you know what? You've been with the wrong guys for too long. And you really don't know what it's like to have a real man. You should give me a chance. I will be good to you. Not only to you, but to your son. Yes, I have a son. No, not by that narcissist, okay? I adopted him. Anyway, so he was like, I will be good to you, and I will be good to him. Just give me a chance. And I was like, you know what? We'll see. But anyways, I don't want to go into that. We'll talk about that at another time. But what I want you to know is that there is hope after being in a narcissistic relationship. There is hope, okay?